He was a two-time NASCAR champion. He had 63 Cup Series wins to his name. He was one of the greatest drivers to ever strap into a stock car. But in 2026, Kyle Busch couldn't crack the top 10. Not in 9 straight races. His average finish was 22.1. He was ranked 27th in the entire Cup Series standings. 27th. A legend ... buried in mediocrity. But then, one phone call changed everything. One crew chief swap. And suddenly, the No. 8 Chevrolet is fast again. So today we are breaking it all down. Who is Andy Street? Why did Jim Pohlman get replaced after just 10 races? And what is it about this new pairing that has the No. 8 team flying? Let's go. But before we get into it, if you love NASCAR coverage, that actually goes DEEP, hit that subscribe button right now. We are RACECAR Nation Report. We break down the stories that the mainstream media misses. Tap subscribe, turn on the bell notification. Let's build this community together, all right? Buckle up. Here we go. Let's go back a few years first. Wow. Kyle Busch joined Richard Childress Racing in 2023. It was a massive move. He left Joe Gibbs Racing after 15 years. He had 2 Cup titles with JGR. He had a Hall of Fame career already. People expected him to dominate at RCR too, and early on, he did. He won 3 races in 2023. He was Rowdy Busch, the guy we all knew. But then, things got dark. 2024 was a disaster. No wins, no playoffs. The worst season of his career. 2025 was somehow even worse. Only 2 top 5s in 31 races. The winless streak grew and grew, and grew. By the end of 2025, he hadn't won since June 2023. That's a 90-race, winless drought. For one of NASCAR's all-time great winners, that was unthinkable. Something had to change. Now let's talk about the crew chief situation, because this is where it gets really interesting. Randall Burnett was the original crew chief on the No. 8. He had won 3 races with Busch in 2023, but by late 2025, the relationship was done. RCR announced Burnett was leaving for Trackhouse Racing. He was going to work with rookie Connor Zilisch in 2026, so RCR needed a new crew chief, and they made a big-name hire. They brought in Jim Pohlman. Pohlman had just led Justin Allgaier to the Xfinity Series championship at Junior Motorsports. He was a winner, a proven guy. The hire looked great on paper, but here's the thing. Before Pohlman arrived, RCR did something smart. For the final 5 races of 2025, they put Andy Street on the pit box, just as an interim. And guess what happened? Kyle Busch ran better. He scored a 5th-place finish at the season finale in Phoenix. It was a small sample size, but it was promising. So Pohlman started 2026 as the full-time crew chief. The pairing was hyped up big. Kyle even scored his first ever Daytona 500 pole position. That was a magical moment. But after Daytona, the wheels fell off. 9 races, no top 10 finishes. The No. 8 was running dead last in team performance. 27th in points. Something was wrong. Badly wrong. And it wasn't just about car speed. Sources say Pohlman's communication style was creating tension. Fox Sports reported that Pohlman was possibly just a little too fiery for Kyle Busch. At Bristol, Pohlman was caught on the secondary radio questioning why Busch wasn't running better after an adjustment. Former champion Kevin Harvick said that kind of attitude doesn't work with a veteran driver. Kyle Busch is a guy who needs calm, clear, structured communication, not fire and frustration on the radio. The chemistry just wasn't there. And after Talladega in late April 2026, RCR pulled the trigger. Jim Pohlman was out after just 10 races. Busch said it himself, simply and honestly. The writing is in the point standings. So now Andy Street is back. So a lot of people are asking, who even is Andy Street? Great question. Let's talk about this man. Andy Street has been at Richard Childress Racing for over 20 years. He started in engineering roles, worked his way up through the system. He became a crew chief in the Xfinity Series, and he was excellent at it. He won 10 races with driver Austin Hill. Between 2022 and 2024, he won a race with Myatt Snyder at Homestead Miami Speedway in 2021. 11 total Xfinity wins as a crew chief. 2025, he was promoted to series engineer manager. He oversaw RCR's entire competition operation. That role meant he was in post-practice and post-race meetings with every RCR driver, including Kyle Busch. That was the key. Street got to know exactly how Kyle thinks, exactly what Kyle needs to feel confident in a race car. And then came those 5 late-season races in 2025. Street got on the pit box. Busch got a top 5 at Phoenix. The chemistry was undeniable. So when Pohlman's tenure fell apart, Street was the obvious choice. RCR President Mike Verlander put it perfectly. He said, "We believe Andy and Kyle's previous working relationship positions us to improve the No. 8 team." That relationship built over years of debriefs and conversations, that was the difference. Now here's the biggest question of all. What did Andy Street do to make the car fast again? You want to know what he said? He said honestly, he didn't do anything dramatically different. No secret setup, no magic adjustment. He said, "I can't pinpoint anything other than the fact that I've just worked with Kyle, and I kind of understand what he needs a little bit better. That's it." That's the answer. Driver-crew chief relationships in NASCAR are like partnerships: trust, communication, respect. When a driver trusts his crew chief completely, he drives with confidence. When there's tension, everything suffers. The results since Street took over: Texas Motor Speedway, Busch ran inside the top 10 for most of the race. At Watkins Glen International, he scored an 8th-place finish, his second top 10 of 2026. The No. 8 team had a visible pep in their step again. Street said it himself on Sirius XM NASCAR radio. "You can see everybody on the shop floor and all the guys and women who work here at RCR. It's good to see a little pep in their step. That energy, that belief, it's contagious. And it starts at the top of the pit box." Here's where it gets critical. Kyle Busch is in a contract year. 2026 is make or break. If the No. 8 doesn't turn around, RCR may not keep him. And if RCR doesn't keep him, where does Kyle Busch go? He's 41 years old. He's still a great driver. But he needs the right team around him. Street believes in him completely. Busch himself said he's working harder now than at any point in his 15 years at JGR. The upcoming schedule is actually favorable. Dover, Charlotte, Nashville, Michigan, Pocono. These are tracks where Kyle Busch has historically been strong. This is his window. This is the stretch where the No. 8 team needs to deliver. The chase cut line is 66 points away. It's reachable. But the clock is ticking. So let's bring it all together. Kyle Busch hit rock bottom in 2026. Jim Pohlman lasted just 10 races. Andy Street, an RCR veteran of 20 years, stepped in. 2 races, 2 top 10 finishes. The No. 8 is alive again. Chemistry matters in NASCAR. Communication matters. Trust matters. And right now, Kyle Busch and Andy Street have all 3. Will it be enough to save Busch's season? Will it be enough to keep him at RCR beyond 2026? We will be watching every single lap, and so should you. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button. Subscribe to RACECAR Nation Report for weekly NASCAR deep dives. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Andy Street can get Kyle Busch back to victory lane? I want to hear from you. Until next time, stay fast, stay focused, and we'll see you on the track. Peace.